Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Nivedita Kauri, MBBS student at Bankura Sammiloni Medical College, West Bengal. This is the third episode of Meat-Oriented Approach to Human Digestive System. In the first two episodes, I have talked about the structure of human digestive system and the mechanism of digestion. I will cover the rest part in this video. By the process of digestion, complex food which we intake is converted to simple forms. The end products of digestion then pass through the mucosa of gastrointestinal tract and ultimately reach the blood or lymph. This is known as absorption. Absorption occurs by simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion and active transport. In simple diffusion, materials move along the concentration gradient passively and slowly without any energy requirement. In facilitated diffusion, substances move along the concentration gradient with the help of membrane fixed transport proteins or carrier proteins and channel proteins without energy requirement. In active transport, there is movement of substances against the concentration gradient and energy is needed here. Absorption of monosaccharides. Small amount of glucose is absorbed by simple diffusion and carrier mediated facilitated diffusion. Glucose and galactose are absorbed by active transport. Fructose is absorbed by facilitated transport. The most rapidly transported monosaccharide is galactose, followed by glucose. Absorption of amino acids. Amino acids are mainly absorbed by active transport. Some can be absorbed by simple diffusion or facilitated diffusion. Absorption of fatty acid and glycerol is a little bit different. The end product of fat metabolism are glycerol and fatty acids, but they are insoluble in water, so they have to undergo some processes to be absorbed. They take the help of micelle. Micelle is nothing but an aggregation of different substances like cholesterol, phospholipids, etc. Micelle has inner hydrophobic part and its outer part is hydrophilic. Fatty acids and glycerol are taken up by them and then micelle are converted to mixed micelle. Mixed micelle are then transported through the small intestine and ultimately glycerol and fatty acids are taken up by enterocytes. Inside the enterocyte, they get protein coated to form chylomicron. These chylomicrons are then absorbed into lacteals of villi and ultimately reach the bloodstream. But the constituents of micelle are very much precious to our body, so they are used for several times. That's why they undergo enterohepatic circulation. Sites of absorption. Principal organ of absorption is small intestine. In mouth, some drugs are absorbed through the oral mucosa. Water, some monosaccharides and alcohol are absorbed in stomach. Absorption of water, some minerals and drugs occur in large intestine. Next is assimilation. After absorption, substances are transported by blood and lymph. They are taken up by our tissues and become integral component of the cells. This process is known as assimilation. Egestion. The elimination of undigested food from our gastrointestinal tract is called as egestion or defecation. Defecation is a voluntary process and is carried out by a mass peristaltic movement. Stercobilin, which is a breakdown product of bile pigments, provide brownish color to the fecal matter. Scatol or 3-methyl-indole is a microbial gas and is responsible for the foul smell of it. A dark green mucilaginous material which is present in the intestine of a full-term fetus is known as meconium. It includes swallowed amniotic fluid and excreted product of the fetus. Next, physiologic values of nutrients. For carbohydrates, it is 4 kilocalorie per gram. Proteins, it is again 4 kilocalorie per gram. And fat, 9 kilocalorie per gram. Hormonal control of digestion. Gastrin. Gastrin is released from G cells of stomach. The target organ is stomach. It increases the release of gastric juice. Enterogastrone or gastric inhibitory peptide. It is secreted from the duodenum. Target organ of action is stomach. It is antagonist to gastrin, so it is inhibitory to gastric juice secretion. Secretin. Secretin is the first discovered hormone. It is again secreted by the duodenum. Works on pancreas, liver and stomach. Releases bicarbonate in the pancreatic juice, increases secretion of bile and decreases gastric secretion and motility. Cholecystokinin and pancreozymin. Its source is small intestine, acts on gallbladder and pancreas, contracts the gallbladder to release bile, and it stimulates the pancreas to release digestive enzymes. Among other gastrointestinal hormones, there are duocrinin, enterocrinin, vasoactive intestinal peptide, willikinin, somatostatin, and pancreatic polypeptide. Now, I will be talking about some disorders of digestive system. First is jaundice. Here, the liver is affected. Skin and eyes turn yellow due to deposit of bile pigments. Vomiting. Vomiting is ejection of stomach contents through mouth. This reflex action is controlled by the vomiting center situated in the medulla. Diarrhea. The abnormal frequency of bowel movement and increased liquidity of the fecal discharge is known as diarrhea. Constipation. Feces are retained within the colon as the bowel movements occur irregularly. And lastly, indigestion. Here, food is not properly digested, leading to a feeling of fullness. The causes of indigestion are inadequate enzyme secretion, anxiety, food poisoning, overeating, and intake of spicy food. Deficiency disorders. First is protein energy malnutrition. Marasmus and kwashiorkor are included under protein energy malnutrition. In marasmus, there is simultaneous deficiency of proteins and calories. It is found in infants less than a year in age. If mother's milk is replaced too early by other foods which are poor in both proteins and caloric value, there is high chance of development of marasmus. Protein deficiency impairs growth and replacement of tissue proteins. Extreme emaciation of the body and thinning of limb results. The skin becomes dry, thin and wrinkled. Growth rate and body weight decline considerably. Even growth and development of brain and mental faculties are impaired here. Kwashiorkor. It is produced by protein deficiency unaccompanied by calorie deficiency. It results from the replacement of mother's milk by a high calorie, low protein diet in a child more than 1 year in age. Like marasmus, kwashiorkor shows wasting of muscles, thinning of limbs, failure of growth and brain development, but unlike marasmus, some fat is still left under the skin. Moreover, extensive edema and swelling of body parts are seen here. Vitamin deficiency disorders. Deficiency of vitamin A results in night blindness, xerophthalmia. Vitamin B1 deficiency can lead to Wernicke-Korsakoff's syndrome. Deficiency of vitamin B3 causes pellagra. Vitamin B9, megaloblastic anemia. Vitamin B12, which is also known as cyanocobalamin, pernicious anemia will result. Deficiency of vitamin C is responsible for scurvy. Vitamin D deficiency causes ricket in children and osteomalacia in adults. Vitamin E deficiency can lead to reproductive failure, and deficiency of vitamin K is responsible for coagulation problems or coagulopathy. This is all for today. If you found my video helpful, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Press the bell icon to get notified first.